Hi, I'm Lindsay and I've been living in this Ford Transit van for the last year. Come on inside. This is my half of the kitchen area. I have a stovetop here and an oven, so you could do all of your cooking in here. The stovetop, I actually have a cover to make the countertop a little bit more room. This just pops on here. That way I have all this room and counter space. I have this backsplash area. Little spice jars go in behind this copper bar. And then all of my oatmeal, which I love, coffee, everything else goes right up here. Super accessible. Don't need to worry about these falling or breaking, especially because I drive pretty crazy. I have these upper cabinets up here, so just extra space for your dishes, cups. The cherry cutting board, so you could do all of your cooking and prep here. And then I have all of these drawers for your silverware. More drawers here for extra stuff. And then down below there's some drawers for pots and pans, and then the garbage drawer as well down here. So this countertop, I really wanted to get white countertops in the van. A lot of people go with the wood countertops. It just wasn't really the style I was looking for. So I found the idea, because quartz is very, very heavy, to do MDF coated in epoxy. And this is a heat-proof, waterproof epoxy, and MDF is actually fireproof, so I don't have to worry about it catching fire with the stovetop. So that's awesome. Custom. I recessed this wall right here to give me this extra space for the pantry and the backsplash. And then I also have a cigarette lighter and 2 USB plugs over there, a 120 volt regular outlet here, 2 light switchers on dimmers, so one for under cabinets and then one goes for the main lights here. And then I also have another cigarette lighter spot and 2 more USBs here. This is the other half of my kitchen, my favorite part. I have this massive farmhouse sink here. Again, the cover to give me more counter space. I've got to use up as much space as possible. So this whole area here, I have a water pump button here so that I can turn it on and know when it's on or off. Running water, both hot and cold. I do have a propane tank that does all of the heat. And then I have the soap dispenser and 5-gallon fresh drinking water here. I don't like to drink from the sink, just like to have clean water. Underneath the sink, I have a Nature's Head composting toilet and a drawer above it to hold all the toilet paper and whatever else you need to have in there. Along with the H2O pump button, I do have the propane button. That way you know when your propane tank's on or off, just to keep it safe. Another outlet over this way. Some shelving just for books up here. I put all my fruits in here. A little bit of a decoration of my knives, but also it helps to keep you safe if you need a quick weapon. Right there. Hand towel right here. And then underneath the sink, I have a 5-gallon gray water tank so that you can, if you're in an area where you can't drop to the ground, you can dispense it to your 5-gallon tank. Otherwise, you do have the option for your sink water to go to the ground, and then the 5-gallon drinking water tank under there. And there's a pantry right here. So there's a shelf here. I usually keep my Instapot in here. It fits in just perfectly. And then also cleaning supplies normally goes in here as well. Just a big empty space. You can put whatever you want in there. And then the down one here, it leads to the laundry hamper. So I have a little hamper space here where you could drop off all your clothes into a hamper. And then also the tanks under there. And I have a RV carbon monoxide propane gas alarm, just to stay safe as well. Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I got started in van life started looking at it in August of 2020 when my best friend from Italy sent me the Van Wives videos, and I fell down the rabbit hole and saw that they could do all of that, and I figured I'd give myself a go at it and see if I could do it. So when I started building out this van, I fell in love with building. I don't have any prior experience, but I picked up an empty cargo van, drove it to Florida, and had my grandfather show me the different tools that I could use, how to do different things. I got the floor installed, the bed installed, and the max air fans, and then drove from Florida all the way back to San Diego to figure out the rest of the van by myself. I took a lot of FaceTime calls to my grandfather asking him to help me, and videoed myself through the van so that he could see what I was working on and give me recommendations. So with that, it took me 8 months to do this complete build out while working full time. And I've been in the van since October of 2021 full time now. So it's amazing not to have an apartment, to have everything with you everywhere you go. And the community that you meet is just incredible. They're the best people in the world. So this is the cab area. I thought it was really important to put swivel seats in, so I did both the driver's and the passenger, which is why I didn't block this off, because I want enough room for that to swivel and entertain 2 more guests in the van. It is a very small space, but I do love to entertain. Also up front, I did install a CarPlay radio system, just because the Ford Transits normally come with a really tiny 4-inch screen, and it was just too much to deal with, try to back up using the backup cam. So that has been really helpful. I also installed a projector screen. Not only can I watch Netflix here, but it is a privacy screen, so I can block off the cab from the rest of the van. That way it just looks like a contractor's van for safety, and also gives me privacy back here if I need to change or use the restroom. Above this is a cabinet, tons of extra storage space up here. Also, I have these privacy curtains. They're blackout because the projector screen doesn't go all the way to the edge of the van. And I want to be able to have lights on here and stay stealth without anybody knowing that I'm in here. So I installed those as well. With that, security is really big for me, being a solo female on the road. I also installed some door locks. That way I can lock off the driver's and passenger door, so if somebody breaks the window, they can't open the door. Here we are in my lounge area. I did an L-shaped lounge. That way I could fit a lot of people in here as well. There are seat belts that come up from behind so that you could buckle in if you did want to sit back here. This is actually one of my favorite places to sit and do work. I leave this table up here. This is a liquid amber wood. And I filled it in with navy and copper and all the cracks, and then fully coated it with an epoxy. So super durable, super thick and heavy. And then down below I have the vent for the diesel heater so that I can go in cold areas and have nice and warm heat. And then I have 3 drawers here, which are my dresser system. So those are really helpful. I thought it was really important to have an area to store clothes. And then I have a isotherm Freeline 115 fridge. This has been amazing. I have everything I need in here. The freezer will fit 4 frozen pizzas, which I could cook in the oven to entertain. And then above the fridge is just like an extra pantry, so I could put more storage up there for food or whatever needed to go up there. Here's the mirror. This is a massive mirror. I thought it was really important to have one big mirror. That way I could get almost a whole body shot. That way I know what I look like before I go out into the real world. So that mirror just opens up, and then right behind it there's just tons of storage space. I added all of these little containers. That way when I put stuff in there and open it, it doesn't fall out. They all stay put. I upholstered for the first time. This is first time job, but I think I did pretty good. All of these cushions here, and I even added a zipper, which most people say is very tricky, but that was a lot of fun and I love it, and this fabric is amazing. It's a vinyl, so that's really awesome. I work as a sales rep. I previously worked for a paint company for the last 7 years, and I'm currently working for an insulation company while running my own business. I did start up my own conversion business this year, building out vans. So it's kind of my hobby for the moment while I am working full time, hoping to retire by 50. So we'll see if I get there. And here we are in my bedroom. So this is a queen size bed. It's actually a short queen, so the mattress is 6 inches, and then I also have a 4-inch foam topper that I did cut myself to fit the width side to side. To fit a queen size mattress in a Ford Transit, I did go and take the 3 inches that normally would be blocked out by a wall on either side of the van. So that added 6 inches, so it is 70, I believe it's 60 by 70 if I'm not mistaken. No, 60 by 76. A normal mattress is 80 inches, so I did lose 4 inches than a normal queen, but it fits perfectly. I'm happy with it. I do have my light switch here. My lights are on a dimmer, so I can put them up and down. and super accessible if I'm in bed, just to have that light to hit the switch instead of getting up. I also have a shelf over here, which is super handy, so I could bring my beverages into bed and not have to worry about spilling them. And I keep my extra max air fan remote over here as well. I do have 2 fans in the van, that way I get really good ventilation. So I'll put one to take the air out and one to take the air in. It's been amazing living in San Diego. It's really all you need. I also have a security system. So I opted for no windows outside of the front windshield and the driver's and passenger window, of course. So I installed a security system. So there's 4 cameras that go with that. One does the inside of the van, just in case anybody was to break in. I do have that on footage. And then I have 3 on the outside of the van. So one facing my driver's side door, my passenger side door and front door, and then also the rear doors. And I can turn that on at any time and see in the dark as well in the middle of the night if I hear a noise. Another really cool thing with this security system is it connects to Wi-Fi in the van, and I could pull up an app on my phone anywhere I am if I'm traveling and look and see what's going on with the van to make sure that it's safe. And underneath the bed is my other favorite part of the van, the garage space. So let's go take a look. So I have been in San Diego for the last 4 years now. I only had a 3-year plan and was planning on moving to Colorado, but van life anywhere besides San Diego is temperamental with weather, so you have to deal with really hot summers or really cold winters, and I am not ready for that. I will travel there. So I decided to start up shop here in San Diego. I have a 2 to 3 year plan to be doing build outs. This was my first van. I have another van that I am building out right now. This van is for sale, so you can reach out to me and I can give you all the details about the van, and we can meet and do a tour as well, so that way you can see it. I do have a dog. She lives full-time with me in the van. Her name is Weenie. She is 11 years old this month. I had her since she was 4 months old. She went through college with me in Connecticut, moved to Florida, and now here in California. So hopefully in the next 5 years, I will be in Colorado pursuing some other building activities with my business up and running, and we'll see what happens with life from there. Here we are at the garage. Another really cool part of the van. Can't park a car in here, but that's okay. There's a big area here for storage. I normally keep my snowboard in here, which is why I opted to leave under the bench open, so that way it slides right in by the diesel heater. With the diesel heater, there's a diesel heater tank here, so that when I go to fill up, all I have to do is open up the back door and put the diesel in through there. This little thing is just to lift up when I need to change my tire. The whole battery system, I put together all of my electrical. So there's 3 100 amp hour Battleborn batteries. With that, I also have the multi-plus and alternator charging, shore power, bunch of stuff over here, another smoke alarm and another carbon monoxide alarm, just because it's in the garage and I just want to make sure that it's safe back here. Because I do have an 11-pound propane tank, which is vented through to the floor. Again, safety, I am crazy about being safe. So that's here. I also have this big coat rack, I guess you could call it. So I could put all of my clothes, hang them all up here, which could also be accessed through the bench. These doors slide and then I can grab my clothes from there. On this side, I have a 33-gallon freshwater tank. With that is the hot water shower. So you could take a shower here. I do have just this little thing that you can stand on outside so you don't get your feet dirty. And that hot water also is what heats up for the sink as well. So when you turn that on, the water goes through the shower area. Obviously the shower is off, and then dispenses through the sink so that you have hot water at the sink. Also in the garage area, I wanted kind of like a little nightstand area. So I built this box with the extra room from the back doors to the bed, and it lifts up and I could put just different things in there that I need. I also have C'est tellement beau, which means it's so beautiful in French. The name of the van is Beau, named after my grandparents. They're very influential in my life. So this first project was named after them. Thank you, grandparents. And then also some exterior features that I have on the van. I do have a roof deck because that's really important to me. I love going out on the roof, watching the sunsets or sunrises. There are the 3 security cameras up top, and I also have a cellular service extender, so that way if you just have one bar when you're out in the middle of nowhere and need a little bit more service, you can turn that on and that antenna will help get you more service. And that's the van. So you can find me on social media on Instagram. If the van is still for sale, it will be on Beau the Van, B-E-A-U the Van. My business site is on Instagram, Lindsay Marie Design Build. I also have a website, lindsaymarie.com. You can buy my merch. I have some pretty cool merch, and I also have a fundraiser set up to donate to the Mesothelioma Foundation. That's where my grandfather, who helped me with the build and helped with everything that I know to this day, unfortunately was taken away by mesothelioma. So you can go on there, look at my cool gear, get some shirts with some Vans and a little bit of profanity on the sleeve. And all those proceeds will be going to the Mesothelioma Foundation. I wanted to thank Tiny Home Tours for coming and touring my van, hearing my story, and I hope to see you in the future.